Telling Lives journalist John Selwood came across Grant last night, just moments after he was forced to evacuate his home.
They didn't have fire engines up here. They've got fire hydrants all the way up the road, and they're still not here. I just don't understand it.
And so your house is the White Peak nearest to the flames?
Yes, it is, yeah.
How long have you lived there?
23 years.
23 years?
Yeah.
Is everything in the house?
Yep, more or less. They wouldn't let us get back and get it.
Those flames are now licking the back of your property by the looks?
More or less, yeah.
So how long did you have to get out?
Well, we had a wee bit of time, probably about 5 or 10 minutes, but then I decided to bring one vehicle out because we had about 3 vehicles there and bring this out and just leave it further down the track. I had a mate come up, but they wouldn't let the mate come up any further to give me a hand to get it out. And in fact, the cop pushed me in the chest, got his handcuffs out and said, if you try to attempt to get back in there, my wife was still there, I couldn't even tell her, we had no cell phone reception, couldn't even tell her that I wasn't coming back to give her a hand to get out.
So what's left in the house?
Well, everything. Everything except a few photo sheets thrown in a box. We only got home in fact, we got home and they were blocking the driveway, saying that we had to leave straight away.
It was Grant Poultney talking to our colleague John Selwood last night. This is where Grant lives, a long way up there. And I don't know if you can hear the helicopters in their monsoon buckets working just behind us, not far from Grant's house. Incredibly, we came to this cordon this morning and wandered round the corner, and lo and behold, there was Grant and his family. And Grant was standing there and looking up the hill through the smoke towards his house that does miraculously still seem to be standing. The roof is there anyway, you can see that, and it's a wooden house, so if the roof is there, then the house is probably there. The neighbours are gone. We spoke to Grant a short time ago as he was looking up to find out if he still had a home.
I'm super surprised that I can see anything there at all after watching the flames go through and the size they were. I seriously thought that where they were when I saw it last, when we evacuated it, that it was just going to be gone within probably 15 minutes of when we'd left.
And our cameraman Bradley's coming round, but I'm just going to go off to the left of frame there.
Yeah.
And you can just see obviously still quite heavy burning up in those pine trees, but it was much, much worse than that, was it?
Well, it was, yeah. Well, there's actually another valley. There's a ridge in between here. That's where the adventure park is, up where it's burning at the moment. But there's another ridge here where they felled logs and they'd left the debris. And once the fire got into that debris, it went as fast as you could drive a car. We watched it, and within about 15 seconds it had covered 200 metres or so, and it then came down the valley and up the side towards us, and that happened within 15 to 20 seconds. It was just unbelievable, but it was being fanned by the wind and it was just so dry, it just went, you couldn't outrun it.
It got out of the valley and started going up the hill in just a matter of seconds.
Yeah, it did, yeah. And it just came up towards the house, and the flames were as high as these trees over here. And, well, as your photos will show from yesterday, it was, I just can't believe the house is still there. I just convinced myself that there was about a 0.5% chance that it could survive it.
Grant Poultney, whose house does still seem to be standing, quite remarkably, considering all the burning around it.